if you saw my video yesterday, we were talking quite a bit about one of the first things to do in terms of how to get started with losing weight is to cut sugar out of your diet. And why do we want to cut sugar out of our diet? Because, well, it's one of the easiest ways to put weight on, right? It's also not very healthy for us. And I think in terms of over the centuries, we have become so accustomed to eating a lot of packaged foods. We've moved away from natural, healthy eating. You might be somebody that does really great in terms of your diet and nutrition, but for me, I kind of got a little bit disheartened with it, and for me it's kind of like a burning desire within me to help you guys, to help everyone, to bring more awareness into how can we be more healthy and how far we've removed ourselves from being healthy, and it always saddens me when I see so many overweight people, and they're everywhere here. I'm sure they're where you are as well. And we all go through aspects and times in our lives where we are overweight. I know I have been myself. And so for me to be able to share some stuff with you around natural, healthy eating. And for me, it's been a journey over the last 6 years. I've been somebody that always struggled with my weight, always yo-yoing up and down, trying all sorts of different diets. And, for me, there was a whole lot of stuff around getting so many cravings. And you go on these weird and wonderful diets, right? And you just be starving and you're going, oh God, this is so painful. I don't want you guys to be like that. I don't want to go through those experiences, yeah? So if I can share stuff with you in terms of how to naturally lose weight in a really easy, healthy way, then that's what I'm here to do, yeah? So, and if you've got some tips to share, love to hear them, right? I've just made myself a coffee, by the way, because it's been a long day. So let's talk about sugars, because we can talk about and go, oh, sugar, cut sugar out, right? What does that mean to you? Often there's a whole lot of hidden sugars and stuff. So anything in terms of, particularly in terms of things like sauces, a lot of the sauces that you use have a lot of sugar in them, particularly your tomato sauces, dressings have a lot of sugar in them. It's being very mindful of that. I was talking about soy milk earlier. Check before you pick a brand of soy milk, turn it around and find out what's in it. Yeah, make sure they're not putting a whole lot of sugar in it. How do you know if it's sugar? It's often hidden. Anything with the letters OSE on the end, so lactose, sucrose, maltose, I think there's dextrose as well. They're all sugars, right? They're all sugars. Also be mindful. So you want to kind of check what you're consuming, because often when they say it's healthy on the front, you really need to dig a little bit deeper. And anything that's low calorie, right, is usually the fact that they've put different types of things in it, like artificial sugars. Okay, and different types of weird fats and stuff in there. So you've got to watch that as well. Gums and all sorts of stuff that's not natural. Let me tell you something about artificial sugar. So if you think so for example, if you're somebody that loves sugar and you think, I'm just going to swap it out with stevia or any of those other kind of things. I know they say stevia is one of the better ones, but any of the artificial sugars that are a replacement for sugars do exactly the same thing in your body. What does that mean? Okay, there may be no calories in it, right? But it still gives you the sugar highs and lows. You're going to dip straight back down again. It's not going to even out and balance your blood sugars. So the whole point in terms of what I'm sharing with you is if you can balance out your blood sugars so that you're not starving, you're not hungry, you're not craving stuff, you're satisfied, and you're also raising your vitality and how good you feel, that's the aim, right? Because what happens then is you totally switch how you think about food. The whole relationship to food changes. So really be careful and mindful that you're not swapping sugar, like natural sugars, even though they're sugars, there's all sorts of sugars they can put in stuff, right? But artificial sugars, they're both no-nos, right? Both no-nos, because they still give you the big highs and lows. I see a lot of the things where there's fruit bars and protein balls and all that kind of stuff, and gluten-free snacks and all the things, right? And they've got a lot of dates, nuts, dried fruits in them, honey, all sorts of different syrups in them, right? All sugar. Dried fruit has much more sugar than natural fruit. Yeah, it goes up to, I think, I'm trying to think of one of the highest ones. Some of them around about 85-90% sugar, right? Particularly dates. Watch that. They're just loaded with sugar, right? All you're doing is eating sugar. Honey, I know there's a lot of saying about honey's very natural. It's mostly sugar, okay? Any of those syrups are all sugar. So you kind of got to watch that. There's lots of alternatives that we can use that give us a sweet taste without it being sugar, yeah? And you'll also find that once you cut sugar out, you'll get to a point where you can't even, like, you'll have something sugary, right? And you'll go, oh my God, that's so sweet. You won't even be able to tolerate it. You know, we talk about, I mean, you would know yourself the things that have naturally got sugar in them, and most of them are not good for you to eat, like your biscuits, your cakes, your lollies. You know, if you want to have chocolate, have dark chocolate. There's no reason why you have to give chocolate up, right? But switch it for dark. Try and eat a lot of dark chocolate. You're not going to be able to, right? It's really rich. Swap it for a few pieces of dark chocolate. And, you know, I know I mentioned like the soy milks and the artificial milks. Check the back of those as well. And is very much becoming very aware, you know, different types of fruit. And I know that we have a lot around how important fruit is and vitamins and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of sugar in fruit. So if you're somebody that wants to initially like even out your blood sugars, and you've been eating a whole lot of stuff you shouldn't be eating, right? You're going to have more of a challenge in terms of how your body's going to feel when it's detoxing. So if you want to have fruit, go for an apple or a pear, your mixed berries, any type of berries. Strawberries are really good. Watermelon is lovely, but it's high in sugar. Grapes are packed with sugar, right? A lot of your berries are very, very, very good, right? You can have the occasional banana, but they're 22% sugar, so watch that, right? Particularly if you're trying to even out your blood sugars. So, and it's about bringing in a whole lot more protein and things like that, but I really wanted to talk about those hidden sugars, yeah? So if you've got any questions about that, let me know. I will put a blog post up about with this, so I'll pop the link in here, and I'll put a table on there that tells you the type of sugars to avoid and the certain foods that you like, that common, yeah, and how much sugar is in them, particularly fruits and all kinds of stuff like that. Some of the vegetables to be mindful of, and this is another one, and we will get to, I know we haven't touched on carbs yet, but there is a couple of vegetables that are high carb, and remember what I said about carbs turning into sugar, that you got to watch. Peas and corn, right, are a couple of them that will really, very high in terms of carb, will turn into sugars in your body. So watch that. I'm not talking about snow peas, but just normal peas, and particularly corn, yeah? Things you probably didn't know, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Go and check out the blog posts, and I will be bringing you some more healthy tips and stuff soon. All right, bye.